is The Herd, wherever you may be and however you may be listening. Fox Sports Radio, iHeartRadio, and FS1. Joel Klatt in about 5 minutes. He's not going to like my SEC take, but he's going to have to deal with it. Strong take, to be honest with you. Joy Taylor is joining me today. We have a little LeBron news.
We do.
Go ahead.
I love the de-escalation of LeBron announcements. So Shams Charania tweeted that LeBron has agreed to a 2-year, $85 million maximum contract extension with the Lakers. Rich Paul told The Athletic that today.
Boy, Rich Paul's had a good year. He's making a lot of money.
Yes, doing very well. Went from the decision to I'm coming home article to like a tweet statement, and now it's just
Shams.
we're just letting. I mean, that's not small, but not quite as dramatic as the decision.
Well, it's interesting because it was about 5-6 years ago. Many people were saying that Kevin Durant was better than LeBron. I didn't buy into it, but Kevin Durant's great. Nobody disputes that. Probably the second best player in the league if he was healthy, which you cross your fingers on that. But the difference between LeBron and KD is really that LeBron is strategic and Kevin is impulsive, and it has shaped their career. That's the difference. There's a story out today that Kevin Durant denies that he had talks with James Harden. Of course he did. Kevin's impulsive. Kevin once got engaged. When asked why, he said, quote, because all my friends were doing it. Nothing wrong with that, but that's impulsive. That would be impulsive. LeBron's moves are always strategic. So he goes to Cleveland, and they cannot get him a second-rate player. And so he's like, I want to win championships. So he strategically goes to Miami and wins championships. Then he's got the titles. Now he was the NBA's villain. He's like, that's not great for my brand. It's not great for my brand. And I want to go home, and for my legacy, they got some pretty interesting pieces. Kyrie Irving can play. So he goes home, wins a championship. And then nobody in Cleveland at that point burned a jersey when he left because he delivered. Nobody was upset. They almost understood, oh, Kyrie's out. He's going to leave. Cleveland understood it. He delivered for it. Then he goes to Los Angeles for a business move and a great brand because he wanted to, and it's been brilliant. TV shows, movies, acceleration of his net worth, mogul stage, and also it's Los Angeles. It attracts players like Miami that can elevate me as I get older and play less. Everything strategic. LeBron's moves, and I just happen to be friends, pretty good friends with two of LeBron's best friends, and they're very smart guys. Everything's strategic. Kevin Durant tends to be more impulsive. So Kevin, and by the way, lots of people are impulsive. It doesn't mean Kevin's any less talented, but his moves, he's in Oklahoma City, and instead of like really being aggressive and going and saying, I'm better than Westbrook, what are we doing here? He's kind of passive-aggressive, and he says, I'm leaving. I'm going to go to Golden State. But he went from a ball-centric guard to two guards in Steph and Clay that would take a bunch of shots. And he wanted to be the man, but he went to an organization where he would never be the man because Steph is the Warriors. Kevin's more talented at his prime, but Steph is the Warrior. And then he leaves, and he's, I'm going to go, surprised all of us, Brooklyn. I thought it was going to be the Knicks. And then he goes to Kyrie, who is at best a little flaky. At best. That feels impulsive. So when the James Harden story came out, I thought, oh yeah, this is what you show me what you are, and I believe you. And that's not a knock. I love watching Kevin Durant. I think he's a remarkable, probably one of the top 5 or 6 scorers I've ever seen in basketball. He's a 7-footer who can drive past you, put it in the deck, score, post, jam, shoot. He's really unstoppable. I have a buddy, Mark Few, that coaches at Gonzaga, and he was an assistant coach on an Olympic team one time, and he said, and it's just all great players. He said, when you see Kevin Durant with all the other great players, you're like, oh, offensively, he's way better than all of them. And it's like Harden and LeBron. It's like Kevin's one of the all-time great offensive players, but he's impulsive. And I do think it will unravel a little bit of his legacy because I think Brooklyn's going to be at some point a little bit of a mess. But there is a big distinction between strategic and impulsive. And I always feel with LeBron, he really everything's about business. And by the way, he's 3 for 3. Miami worked, Cleveland worked, Lakers is working better than I thought, actually. Let's bring on the voice of college football. Joel Klatt is coming to the show, Fox NFL draft analyst, former Colorado quarterback. It's good
What's
to see
up,
you.
man?
So,
How you doing?
oh, sensational.
I bet. I mean, there was a lot of name dropping on that last segment. Boy, did you know he's friends with LeBron's friends, everybody?
Is that name dropping or is that accurate?
No, it's not name dropping at all, Colin. I would do it more.
So, anyway. So, let me just say this. So, I am tired of one argument. Because I am fact-based and science defender.
Oh,
That's all
great.
I'm about. All I'm about
Here
now.
we go. Here we go.
If I hear one more time, how can you put a 2-loss Georgia team above BYU? Because I have eyes and they're way better.
Okay.
I'm going to consider recruiting. I'm going to consider the draft. And when year after year, these SEC teams are all top 8 in recruiting.
Yeah.
And then the NFL draft, half the first round is SEC. In a subjective sport, when I have to vote, I'm going to think, well, that team's got 32 NFL guys and BYU has 1. Why can't I make that? And Auburn went 9-4. They beat Bama and Oregon. And they were the 5th place SEC team.
Yeah, listen, I mean, I don't think that the SEC is quite as strong this year as they were a year ago. And Auburn's a great point.
By the way, is anybody? Big Ten's not either.
Yeah, I mean, the Big Ten is down, but you could make an argument that all these teams look down because they haven't had the cupcakes to beat up on.
Well,
right? And those records aren't quite as impressive because we're playing conference-only games.
Let me just stop you there. I don't think any conference is as good. Michigan's a mess. Penn State's, the Big Ten's down. Those are, I don't buy Miami Hurricanes. Pac-12, I've seen Oregon play. Sorry, Washington looks small to me. And by the way, Texas ain't working.
No, because of Notre Dame's inclusion this year, the ACC is better than it has been in the past. The SEC is top-heavy this year with Bama. To your point about Georgia, though, the pushback I would give you is that it can't just be a beauty contest, right? In the Olympics, we don't just say like, well, you know, this person wins the gold medal because we just know they're better.
Why can't it be a beauty contest?
Well, because the game has to matter, right? Like, or else why do we have a scoreboard?
Well, Georgia doesn't have 6 losses. They've got 2 to Bama.
And I understand that, but they also have not played dominant football even in the last couple of weeks. Everyone's been like, boy, they've been great in the last couple of weeks. I'm like, pump the brakes. You beat a South Carolina team that just fired their coach. You played a former assistant, and Mike Bobo was the interim head coach for the South Carolina Gamecocks, who are a terrible team, by the way. You beat Mississippi